Demand right now is at record levels globally for soybeans. We see places, of course, like China is still purchasing increasing amounts of soybeans, but other areas of the world are also increasing demand. Southeast Asia is growing, India demand's growing, so is Europe, so is North Africa and Latin America. So it's a good picture all the way around. We do have excellent demand right now globally.
Well, certainly for demand and for market impacts, we both need that growing demand, which we'll see continued increase in demand from China, not to compensate for the big crops that we've had the last few years, and so that's why we've seen prices soften a little bit. But we also are watching production in other places, and we see some strong South American production right now that competes, and yet you look around the world, there's also troubles with some drought in certain areas and other production issues that I think will create some demand and maybe some less competition. I think we see other parts of Asia too, other parts of Southeast Asia. I think that longer term we can look towards the Indian subcontinent and opportunities there. We look at the Middle East. We look at probably lots of smaller markets, because everything's smaller than a Chinese market, but lots of smaller markets that add up to some pretty significant demand in the future. Now, it takes work to do that. It takes people to be able to build those relationships and make that marketing work. But the base has been built, and I think there's reasons to be very optimistic for the future. I think we have diplomats that are on our farms, that are driving the tractor in the spring and the fall, that spend some time greeting international visitors here or having a reason to go and visit our customers overseas. That is hard to capture the benefit, but you know that it is a very important part of the relationship that we can build.
I think for Iowa corn right now, of course China, we always keep our eye on China. They haven't been buying corn or corn products lately, so making sure that our customers around the world know how important their business is to us. Mexico, Canada, Latin America, keeping an eye on Southeast Asia, Kuala Lumpur, Northern Africa. Those places that we trade change every year depending on both the needs of the people there and where the surpluses are around the world. So we want to make sure that all of our customers know how important they are to us. And we certainly saw advances with the trade agreements, and we want to make sure that we continue to have very strong trade agreements because they're so important for farmers, especially now when margins are so slim. It can mean that those exports can mean the difference between profit and loss on a farm.
Keep an eye on these trade discussions that are going to be occurring at the U.S. government level. There's some things to be concerned about, but I think we have been advocating the importance of markets like China and Mexico, and I think our voices are being heard from all of agriculture, including soybeans. And so I'm optimistic that soybeans and agriculture will be treated fairly and well in these trade negotiations, and we just have to continue to keep getting that message across and making sure that everybody realizes that importance. And the great thing that's on our side is that everybody needs to eat, and it never is beneficial for another country to try to restrict imports of food for them either. So I think we have a lot of things on our side, and I think we'll have continued growing demand for soybeans and all agriculture products.